Aloha, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus Park. If this is your first time tuning into our show, please leave a comment, subscribe to whatever platform you're watching this on or listening to it on. I appreciate you taking your time out for coming on our show. At this moment, I want to invite you to a R&B day party that me and DJ Hoppaboy are throwing at the Capitol Modern May 24th. Go check out our website, laidbackrnb.com, and get your tickets now. Aloha. Okay, this week my guest is a Hoku Award winning ukulele artist, and she is the reason why I slack at work because I listen to all her videos. Brittni Paiva, thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to have you on. I've been always a fan of the uke. It's one of the few instruments I can play because I have small hands that I can actually hold the chord. But you are
Nice.
amazing. I am
Thank
blown away with some of the stuff you can do with that thing, and I'm really happy to have you on. I'm stoked that you
thank
agreed
you.
to come on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for reaching out. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's get into it. What was like how did you even get into playing uke, or where did you start off in a different instrument?
I actually did. My first instrument was the piano, so I've been classically trained starting at the age of 3.
Oh wow.
And then when I was 11, like I had to convince my parents and my grandparents because they were like, very instrumental. I mean, pun intended, but instrumental in getting me started in piano lessons and all that stuff. So Um, I had to convince them really hard to let me stop taking piano lessons and play ukulele. My grandpa, uh, when I was about like maybe 10 or so, he let me play his mom's old kamaka from the 1960s, I
Oh.
believe. And it was a soprano, like everybody had, growing up. So he let me try it out, and like I knew from that moment that was going to be my instrument. So yeah, I had to convince them, do a lot of work to convince them to let me stop playing, stop taking piano lessons, and just go all in with the ukulele lessons. So I did that. Um, Started at 11. I played for or took lessons for about 2 years, and then I picked up the guitar at 14,
Mm.
and then bass at 16, then drums at 18,
Oh
and then I
wow.
started learning how to produce after that. So, yeah, it was just like a like from one to to the next, type of thing. But yeah, it's fun.
Where did you learn how to play uke?
So I took lessons. I did like a summer. It was like a 6-week thing for Parks and Recreations in Hilo, because I'm
Uh,
born and raised in Hilo. So, yeah, it was like a summer thing. So I did that, and then I took lessons from one of my grandpa's friends. Um, And so that was kind of like, being 11 years old, you don't really wanna play songs from, like, the 1950s.
Yeah.
That age, I was like, "Oh, I'm kinda bored. I can just teach myself." So I took that's when I, again, had to convince my parents and my grandparents that I'm gonna stop taking ukulele lessons and just teach myself.
Oh
So,
wow. So
yeah,
what's the
that's it.
first song you learned on the uke? And I could probably guess because I know most people play this one song. What would that be?
Carly Rose by Kyle Crater Boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would always hear Surf from Kyle Crater Boys.
Yeah, that was probably, like, my 2nd, but, that was a song that my grandpa really liked, so he put on the CD and, he's like, "Yo, try figure this out." So I figured it out, learned how to play it by ear, and yeah, that was the first song that I ever learned on the uke.
Oh, that's super cool. I'm glad you remember that. Kao was one of my favorite bands. We used to work at a gas station in Kaneohe, and in between cars we'd play uke, and it was always like we'd play Ka'au or Kapena the most, and like
Yeah,
Ka'au
yeah.
Ka'au has that significant ukulele sound with Troy Fernandez for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, it's iconic, like, everybody started you kinda started off with, like, Eddie Kamai, Peter Moon, right before that, and then Kyle Creator Boys, and then Jake. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
so many iconic artists.
Well, you're in line to be one of them. I'm super impressed with your stuff. When did you realize like, okay, this is more than just a hobby? When did you realize, oh, I get action in this and I could probably take this to the next level?
Um I think, I'm not entirely sure. I think I started performing, like, locally around Hilo with my ukulele teacher.
Okay.
And so I did have, well, aside from, like, piano recitals and stuff like that, I had that experience as well. But, I started performing with my ukulele teacher, and then after that, I got invited to I don't remember what was the first one. I believe the first gig I ever played was Roy Sukuma's ukulele festival in, Waikoloa. He used to have one every year in Waikoloa,
Mm.
so I believe that was the first, festival that I ever did, and it was interesting because when I think back to it, like, I was such a novice solo performer. I don't think I've ever performed solo in my life before that. So it was crazy. Like, I had a 30-minute set,
Oh,
and I
wow.
wrote out I wrote out, like, the song, what I was gonna say between the songs, and then play the next song, and it was like a whole script because I didn't know what I was doing, so that's, kinda like my first experience with that. After that, I think the next biggest festival was the Hilo I think it was the Hilo Slack Key and Ukulele Festival, which was held at the Civic Auditorium, every
Okay.
July. So I did that, and then the following year was when I made my first album. And so that came out, and I remember being there, performing, and then I went to the, table after to, sign CDs and stuff. And I signed my first autograph on my own CD at that event. And so I
Oh,
thought
wow.
at first I felt a little bit weird, mainly because like you're signing, like people are asking for your signature. So being 14 years old or almost 15 and then having, signed your first autograph, you're kind of like, is this really what I want to do?
Mm.
But I realized, fairly quickly after, doing more gigs and stuff that, there's a whole other side to performing. There's a whole other side to creating music, and it's not just, like it's not for the fame. There's a whole other healing side and a healing aspect in how you can make a difference in someone's life just by sharing your passion. So that was kind of like the moment for me where I decided this is what I was gonna do. This was my purpose in life, and I'm gonna do it.
Wow, I asked that question to a lot of artists, and that by far is one of the best answers I've gotten.
Thank
And you knew that at 14. Okay, I want to take this short break from talking to Brittany and tell you about our sponsor, Defend Hawaii. They've been my sponsors from the very beginning. They have a store in Windward Mall called Noan. But go to their website. They got some new spring stuff out right now. Go to defendhawaii.com. Check out what they have. Use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout. You'll get 15% off your first order. Give them a look, defendhawaii.com. Let them know ATB Pod sent you. Aloha.
So I was actually homeschooled from the very beginning. Like I never went to public school or anything.
Okay.
And it turns out the reason for that was because I was autistic. And I would have had a very difficult time in school, with the social aspect of everything. Um, so I'm grateful that my parents decided to homeschool me because not only did it kind of like protect me from a lot of the bullying that would have gone on, um, it kind of allowed me this opportunity to do my music because I would wake up super early. I would wake up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, do my schoolwork for 4 hours, and then have the rest of the day to do whatever. And that's all I did was I played music. So being able to experience that, being able to be creative on my own time basically, and just kind of appreciate the space that I had to enjoy music and reflect on how music affects other people. I think led up to that realization of this is what I want to do. I can make a difference in someone's life.
That's super cool. I really do believe that there are many songs and artists that influenced me or got me through tough times, and I relate to it big time. And for artists to know that, it is pretty cool. And it's at that young age thinking like I want to influence people, not try to become famous. That's very humble of you, and kind of not what drives most artists, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, it's really I mean, it's an industry where, like, if you're not careful, you can easily lose yourself. And I've seen, I've been in the industry for going on like 20 something years now. So I've seen so many people come into this and then like they quickly drop out because they've lost their focus. They've lost the whole main reason of why they're a musician, why they have this gift in the first place. And it's sad, but I also have a lot of hope that eventually they'll come around. Eventually they will realize um that their purpose is so much greater than what they think. Like it's never going to be about us, you know. Where
Yep.
I'm not in this for fame, I'm not in this for money. That is a bonus, yes. But that's not the reason. The reason is other people.
That's super cool. Yeah, I'm blown away by your answer. So you've been producing and writing your own music. Your first album you said was 14 years old. How did
Yeah.
how did that process go at that early age?
It was pretty crazy actually. That was back in the day or back in the time where you would send your music to certain contacts in the industry and they would like sign you or bring you on board for gigs, things like that. So yeah, I went into the studio with the sole purpose of just doing a demo, like not even a full album, but I ended up doing a 14 song album. Um
Wow.
so it released when yeah, released when I was about 14 or 15, 14, 15, 15. And, I remember coming home from the studio one day and watching the Hoku Awards on TV from my living room in Hilo, and I was like, "I wanna be there someday." Like, that's what I wanna do, like, I wanna be there. The following year, I was there winning Most Promising Artist for that album. So
That's so dope.
yeah, it was really crazy and just, like, to have gone from, like, this, 14, 15-year-old girl from Hilo to now I'm at the Hokus and I'm hanging out with all of these people I looked up to for my whole music, growing experience. It was very surreal. Very
That's
surreal.
super dope.
Yeah.
Your first album was all covers or was songs that you wrote?
I did have a couple covers. I mean, well, a couple originals, but most of them were covers at the time. My writing skills, like being, so young and everything like that. Um, I did have only a few songs that I wrote at that point, but yeah, I just played whatever I felt like playing on that album and whatever other people wanted to hear, and that's what ended up happening. Yeah.
That's super cool. Man,
Like,
to win a Hoku at 15, that's pretty. I wonder how many other people did that.
to my knowledge, I think I'm still the youngest to have ever won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's super cool.
I would love for someone else to come and take that over though.
See, that's you being humble. I'd be like, no way. I hope not. I hope that record stays intact. I
Yeah.
think I think it's cool though watching like I'm about to go yell at my daughter. She's 15. She never did anything like that. And so now you pretty much primarily write your own music then for your albums.
Um, yeah, well, I do both. I play covers because it's always nice to play stuff that people are
Yeah.
familiar with. And then of course I write my own. I write all the time now. And I also produce for other artists as well, which is super fun because they'll come to me with their originals and be like, "Can you make this sound really cool?" So I'll go and make it sound really cool and send it back to them for their projects. So yeah,
Oh, that's super cool. You have your own studio.
I do. Yeah, well, it's more like my closet. So yeah, just this little inset, in my closet, and I have this curtain right here that I can just like easily close it up if I want to.
That's super cool. And with technology now, anybody can kind of create their own space and get good sound quality and be able to produce in your bedroom on your laptop and stuff or on a computer.
Yeah, 100%. It's so much more accessible now than it was before. Like before, you would need this massive console that cost almost $1,000, $100,000, and all this equipment, soundproof room, everything. But when you really understand the mechanics of sound and how everything works, like you can get by with a really simple setup. Like, my room is treated in just the right areas so that I can sit here and record and it'll sound like I've gone to a studio and spent big money on recording when I actually just sat right here.
What do you use? Pro Tools or
I use Logic.
oh Logic? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I love Logic. I've used pretty much every DAW out there, and I love Logic. Yeah.
That's impressive. Were you ever formally trained in producing and in music, like in a school setting, like in college or anything like that, or all self-taught or University of YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube University for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I did go to, I did an online program from, Berklee College of Music. I majored in music theory and music arrangement. Um,
Wow.
that was the only, like, formal schooling I've had. Um, all of my production training, all of that was all self-taught. I kinda liked it that way. I try to sit here and read articles of all these different things, and I'm like, this is a lot of brain power. I'm just gonna do it myself and figure it out, because then I'll remember it instead of reading something and then forgetting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've worked with a lot of, really amazing producers over the years, and I've, watched how they do things, and I have people that I can ask if I'm, stuck on just one particular, like, I don't know how to EQ this one drum sound to make it sound the way I want it to, so I can always, like, text them or call them and, have that resource too.
That's super cool. What would be your process when you're creating a new song or when you're writing a song for yourself?
It kinda really depends, what the purpose of the song is for, like, I'll write songs specifically for sync in, like, film and TV,
Oh
and
wow.
that is a whole different, process that I'll start. So, like, if I'm writing a song for myself or, like, an ukulele song, um, I'll typically hear everything in my head, like, the whole arrangement and everything in my head. And I'll go and record, the rhythm ukulele part first, and then I'll record a demo lead part, like the picking, the melodic stuff, just so that I have those 2 as something I can work around. And so I'll build based off of that, and then once it's time for, like, the final recording, then I'll go back and redo so that it sounds better, and I'll edit everything properly. Um, if I'm writing for sync, for film and TV, I'm starting specifically with the rhythm, like the drum beats. I'm not thinking of any melody yet, so I'm kind of working backwards
Oh, okay.
than how I would for, a regular listening music, ukulele music.
Would you ever get stuck? Like if you were trying to figure something out or trying to get a song put together, would you ever get like uh writer's block or something like that?
Absolutely. It's
How do you
the
get through it
yeah,
though?
writer's block is the most pain in pain in the butt thing. Like, it's inconvenient, it's awful. Um, I like to tell people, like, you need to do something that's not anything what you're currently doing. So, like, if I'm sitting here writing and I'm having this block, I don't know what to do with my song. Um, I'll go outside. I'll go do yard work. I'll go clean my bathroom. Something that's not anything related to do with music. And just having that ability to get your mind off of it. Like, the more we fixate on the problem, the worse it's gonna get.
That
So
makes
yeah. So
sense.
having to distance yourself from the problem is like more times than not gonna fix it. Um there's this one little thing that I kind of live by, where if I have an idea for a song and it doesn't really go anywhere, I'm gonna like just record whatever I have, whatever my idea is. If it doesn't go anywhere, I'm gonna put it on the side because it's not the right time to do it. So then, years later it'll come out and be like, oh, okay, I have an idea for that song. And I'll go back to
Oh,
it, and yeah, and then it turns into something really cool.
that's amazing. At least you're smart enough to not push the issue. You're like, okay, maybe this isn't the time. I'll take a break from this, put it in the hard drive, and come back to it in a year or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, and especially too, like, if you're working with a time in a time crunch, like, for some of these, sync projects that we do, like, the deadline is yesterday,
Oh,
and you have no time, like, you're sitting there for, like, 18 hours to get this song done because the deadline is right away, and you just gotta push through it, and, there's really no stupid idea. Like, you might think it's stupid because we're always gonna be critical of ourselves, but it's really not. You play it for someone else and they'll be like, "That's a brilliant idea. That's great." So,
So
it's having to get past those types of self-critical messages, that's really gonna help you succeed, and move forward.
that's awesome. You've done stuff for TV and movie. You said, how does that work? Like you'll watch the film and kind of play to the actions, or
Yeah, there's many different, directions for, writing for sync. There's film scoring, which is you have the film, you're watching it, you're writing the soundtrack to it. I have 2 friends who worked on the Power Book series. I think it's on Stars. The Power Book Force, I believe, is the first one that they did, if I remember correctly. But they did the scoring for that, and that was happened to be in the studio when they did, some of it, and it was really cool to watch them, do that. But, there's that. There's also, different, formats of writing a song, and the way the song should progress. That's gonna make it more appealing for someone to use in a commercial. Um, so one of the things that I was fortunate to do was also compete for a Nike spot, a
oh
Nike Super
wow.
Bowl commercial last year. And, it was interesting because Nike ended up going with a Led Zeppelin tune. They didn't choose anybody's songs, but, I got together with some friends of mine, who work, heavily in the sync world, and we wrote 3 songs, and they were bangers, and these were, one of the or 3 this deadline was yesterday, so, like, we got together and worked for hours on these pieces, and then Nike ended up going with Led Zeppelin. But, yeah, it was really cool, so, like, there's a whole way, a whole method that makes your song more appealing for use in commercial like that. You need to be constantly moving and introducing something new in your song. Um, so yeah, it's very different than scoring for sure.
Oh wow. That's crazy. I mean, it's hard to beat Led Zeppelin though.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you brought up, what was your kind of genre that you would love to listen to?
Uh, Gosh, I don't know. I love listening to anything.
Oh,
Whatever I could, you know, get my hands on, I would listen to. I think if I had to pick a couple genres that I just absolutely love, it would probably be like 90s and 2000s trance, like
oh,
EDM music.
wow.
Um,
Wasn't
Next would
expecting
prob
that.
yeah, yeah, I'm a huge, 2010s raver.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
yeah, not
That
anymore 'cause, like, I gotta go to sleep early. I don't stay up late.
yeah,
Um,
you can't be I
no, I'm if I'm awake past 12, I'm, dying the next day. So, I stay home. But, yeah, so 90s and 2000s trance. Next would probably be, piano jazz.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and then I think 3rd would probably be metal.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
so happy you said that because I my favorite music is metal. My favorite band is Metallica. I grew up with Metallica. That's my genre. I love all music except country. I don't really care for country, but metal is my favorite. And I always wanted to hear it played on a uke
Mhm.
and hear it transcribed through ukulele. Have you ever done that before?
I've done a couple little snippets of stuff. I did, Spoon Man,
Oh,
what
Soundgarden.
else? Yeah, yeah, I did what else did I do? I did, little snippets on my Instagram that I posted, 4 or 5 years
Oh,
ago. So it's kinda
nice.
far down there, but, yeah, I wanna get back into doing more
All
stuff
right.
like that.
Do
Yeah,
do a
I love
Metallica one for me.
for sure. I love scream metal. I will listen to, I Prevail,
Oh,
yeah, I love all those guys. There's a group from I think they're from New Zealand, called
Speed.
Aurora Wave.
Oh, I
Yeah,
listen to them. They're metal reggae.
they are good. Yeah,
They
I
are
love
awesome. I
yeah,
actually use one of their songs as background music for one of my daughter's highlight volleyball reels. I'm
nice.
they just came here too. They were
Great.
opening
Yeah,
for I forget who they opened for. Expendables, I think. They were at the Republic. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I saw that and I wasn't able to go, but yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you like that kind of music. That I was not expecting any of those answers.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
um, being that you like that kind of music and stuff, how come the guitar never stuck?
I mean, I still play guitar, but I feel like I'd rather play it for fun than play it as, like, my instrument. I have more fun adapting things to the ukulele than I do for guitar because I feel like guitars is just like, people know what the guitar can do, but they
Yes.
don't know that you can do the guitar on the ukulele.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think that's why I stick with it.
'Cause it's more challenging probably,
Yeah, I love a good challenge. I'm a problem solver by nature, so, um, yeah, give me something that's impossible to play on the ukulele and I'll play it.
Yeah, I just saw one of your story just you posted today of a EDM song, and I was blown away that that was a uke. I'm like, "Whoa, that's pretty impressive." I just
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it just before we jumped on. I'm like, "Wow, that's that." And you said you did that 10 years ago.
right, yeah, that was my practice, to learn how to produce.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, I just pretty much sat down in front of my computer and I listened to the original and I was gonna try and recreate those sounds as close as I possibly could back then. I had like no equipment, no fancy plugins, and I was just working with, whatever Logic had, the stock plugins, and yeah, that's what kind of came out of it. So I found that mix recently on my hard drive and I was like, maybe I should put it out just for fun. Like
Yes.
so I did. So I'm releasing it on March 27th. Um
Alright.
yeah, just for fun and I'm kind of like putting it under my other moniker, B.exe. B.exe produces like lo-fi. So I have some lo-fi tracks that I released
Okay.
under that stage name. And yeah, so it's going to be myself featuring myself, which is pretty
That's
funny, but
crazy.
yeah.
That's super cool. When you listen to music, do you find yourself just enjoying it or you're instantly trying to dissect it?
I am never okay. So the only genre of music that I do fully enjoy while listening is Christmas music
Oh, okay.
because like it's so warm and fuzzy. It makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother to analyze what's going on here. I just love it. So I'm gonna listen to it and fully enjoy it. But every other genre of music, no matter what it is, I cannot just sit down and enjoy it. And I'm picking apart everything. I'm listening to it like one side of the headphone at a time to see what's on that side and what's on that side. And yeah,
That could be annoying, but cool at the same time.
I would say it's
My
annoying.
yeah, my one of my best friend is DJ Hopper Boy, and he's the same
Mm,
thing. We're out doing something, and he'll just stop and be like, and I see him getting his phone out to Shazam. I'm like, "Bruh, just enjoy the moment. You're not trying to do stuff all the time." But it's
yeah.
it's always, I guess that's the artistic vibe that you guys have it. It's pretty cool because I always say I would love to hear music through your guys' ears. It'd be pretty cool to understand it like that.
Mhm. It's kind of like if you're listening to multiple conversations, like you're at a bar and you decide to tune in to all these different conversations that are around you and you want to understand every single one, but you can't because every single one is going on. That's pretty much as close as it's gonna get
Wow, that's
to
a
what
great way to
listening
describe
as a
that.
music.
Okay, guys, let's take this short moment. I want to shout out our sponsor, iRip Detail Supply. They're your one stop shop superstore for everything you need to detail your vehicle. They have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center, one also in Las Vegas, and they're opening one on the west side. But if you can go to their website, iripdetailsupply.com, use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, and you'll get 15% off your entire purchase order. I rip detail supply. Aloha. What would you say your style of playing or performing is? What would you say? What would you categorize yourself?
Gosh, I don't even know. I'm definitely very big on quality of music. I don't particularly particularly like to, be all over the stage and just like running all over the place, jumping and
So
doing
not
the
like Jake.
yeah, no, not at all. I do have my like, my own version of stage presence, of course, but I don't like to overshadow my music with the visual, you know, physical, activity on stage. Um, I would rather like I want people to hear and feel my music um without being distracted by other things. So that's kind of my philosophy about my style of performing. Yeah.
And what about your music in itself? What would you describe the genre being?
Um, I don't know. I think it's multi genre. Honestly, I play a little bit of everything. Um, I think as far as my albums go, like every album had a sort of like a different theme, I guess.
Okay.
Um, the first and second albums both had like a like more traditional, local Hawaiian type of flavor. The the third album and the fourth album kind of got a little bit more like poppy,
Okay.
a little more progressive in the pop sense. And then the fifth album was very jazz oriented. And the fifth album was called Tell You What, and that one was produced by Tom Scott from the LA Express.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, so he's in like a legend in the main music industry. Like he's worked with so many people. I can't even begin to yeah, list everybody, but um amazing producer, amazing person, and, he produced that album, so, yeah, with his jazz background, a lot of that came from, from him, so, um, yeah, that was, like, my first venture off into actually playing jazz rather than listening to it, so, yeah, it was
Wow.
a fun project to do.
That's super cool. So I guess you would say your genre is Brittany genre, that you're not pigeonholed into one kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, I love playing because I feel like the ukulele in itself is a genre. It's
Yeah,
not
for sure.
necessarily Hawaiian, it's not necessarily, um, I don't know, Latin, it's not necessarily anything. It's a genre itself because there's so many things that you can do on it that's it's all gonna sound like ukulele in the
Yeah.
end. So,
Would you say that the uke is kinda growing in popularity worldwide and is becoming something that everybody's kind of using in their music?
100%, yeah. I mean, so many mainstream artists are using the ukulele in their music. There are so many festivals in places that you wouldn't even think they're ukulele festivals. Like there's uh, an ukulele festival in I think it's called the Czech Ukulele Festival. That's in Czechoslovakia. Way over there. There's I played at the Berlin Ukulele Festival in
Oh,
Germany.
wow.
There's the UK festivals. There's festivals in Ireland, in Australia, Malaysia, everywhere.
What would be your most memorable performance or a show that you've done?
Performing with Carlos Santana.
Oh my god, that's insane.
That was my most memorable and will probably be my most memorable for the rest of my
Alright,
life.
explain to me that, cause that's mind-blowing. That guy's, like, that's insane. You played with Carlos Santana
Yeah,
on
yeah,
stage.
yeah, here in Hawaii.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, take me through that. Tell me about that.
Alright, so, how that actually came to fruition, my mom was my manager at the time, and, we were in contact with Carlos's manager, for, off and on here and there, like, we would send emails and he would send emails. And, he ended up messaging us and said, "Oh, Carlos is gonna be kicking off his tour. The first stop is Honolulu. You know, do you wanna go to the show?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, I wanna go." So, so he wrote back and he said, "I can actually get you backstage to meet Carlos before the show. Is that something you'd be interested in?" I'm like, of course." Like, Carlos was one of my idols, listening to his music and everything, so yeah, so my mom and I, flew up from Hilo, up here, and it was gonna be at the Blaze Cell, the arena, sold out crowd of, like, 30,000 people. So we get here and, we show up, Carlos's manager's like, "Okay, you need to see this person, go to this gate, and they're gonna take you to this other person at this other gate." It was like a whole, security thing, which I get it, but it was like a lot to go through at the time. But, yeah, so we went backstage and he's there with his wife, Cindy, who plays drums, and we were just talking stories, and that was like I think the first or second day that I had just got my custom Kamako ukulele.
Okay.
So I thought, it'd be really cool to have him play it and, like, maybe have him sign it or something. So I brought it with me, and, he said, "Hey, I see you have your ukulele. Do you know any of my songs?" And I said, "Actually, yes, I play Yoruba and Samba Pati." So he's like, "Oh, play Samba Pati." So I played, and then he asked me, "Does your ukulele have a pickup in it?" And I said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "Okay, great. You're gonna join us on stage." I
No
was like,
shit.
"Oh, man, okay. We're doing this. We're doing this." So
Wow.
yeah, it was insane. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna have my where are you sitting? I'm gonna have my security come and grab you, about 30 minutes before I'm gonna bring you on." So I don't remember anything of the show before I went on. I was nervous because the fact that I knew he was gonna call me up and I was gonna play with his whole band on stage to 30,000 people with no
Holy bro.
rehearsal, I was like, "Shit,
That's
alright."
gangster.
So I remember sitting there in the audience, and it was 4th row from center stage, like, in the front. I remember sitting there lifting up my hand, and I was, like, full on shaking, nervous as hell. And, his guys came and got me, like, 10 minutes before before we're gonna go on. They're like, "You need to hurry up because we're going now. You're on in 10 minutes."
Wow.
I'm like, "Okay." So they grabbed me, and then I followed them, and then they put me, like, right behind the drum riser behind the stage. So then, Carlos introduced me and brought me out, and we played Samba Pati on stage with his whole band, and yeah, that was the moment.
That is insane. That's one of the best stories I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Like, you brought your uke just to get him to play it or sign it, and it just turned into, like,
I left with an experience.
that's the biggest experience I could ever think of. Like, how'd you play it? Did you mess up, or were you just like
Oh, totally, yeah. I was so nervous. Like, there were a few, like, what we call fart notes. There
Okay.
were a couple in there, and I don't like to watch, videos of my performances where I know I'm nervous because I'll
Yeah.
see mistakes and be like, "Eh, why?" But But yeah, I totally messed up on a couple parts, but it's fine because, like, that's just music, that's part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have that video?
I do, yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay, I'm definitely checking that out after we jump off. That's insane.
Yeah.
Um, oh wow, that I guess that would be the most memorable. So you got to tour a lot with your music. What countries other than Berlin have you been to, and
I've been
how are
to
performing in different countries?
I've been to, like, Japan, Australia, Canada, Mexico, Denmark. Um, yeah, it's so fun. It's interesting to see the types of music that people like to play on the ukulele the further east you go.
Oh, okay.
Really interesting. Like, you'll find a lot of, like, Hawaiian stuff on the West Coast, and then
Yeah.
as you work your way east, you get less Hawaiian and more, like, more pop and more 1920s and 30s music.
Oh
It's
wow.
fascinating just to see the types of stuff that people like playing in different parts of the world. But everybody loves the ukulele, and there's not a single moment where, like, you're ever at a festival having bad vibes. It's everybody's there because they love the instrument. You're there because you love the instrument. And you all have this one thing in common, and that's the ukulele, which is Hawaii.
Wow, that's crazy to think about. I always relate you with Hawaiian music or reggae or island reggae. I've never thought about it being played specifically for other genres. Like,
Mhm,
I always hear uke is like guarantee is island music, and
mhm.
wow, that's insane. let's see, what would be your typical day now that you're producing and you're a full-time artist? What would be like a normal day for you?
It really honestly depends on how the day starts.
If you
I
wake
just
up
got a
late, no.
no, not even that, like, I just got a new puppy, so,
Oh,
he's a golden doodle, so recently, like, because I'm autistic, like, I treasure my routine, like, I need my morning routine and I need my evening routine, and the sequence of the things that I do in that routine is, like, that's what keeps me, grounded and, like, I'm able to function if I'm able to do those things. But with the puppy, he has upset all the routine. So, yeah, I do my best to have a lot of self-care and compassion for myself, during this time where I'm trying to develop a whole new routine. So, if the day starts off rough or like if the puppy woke up and chose violence, then I'm gonna be overstimulated, which is gonna then delay the productivity that I need to do. So, yeah, that's what I mean by it depends how the day starts.
all right, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
but on a general sense, I'll typically wake up, I'll have, like, my coffee, then take my pre-workout, I'll do my workout, go to the gym, and then I'll come back. I'll either teach music depending on the day, I have students, or I'll sit here and produce, for someone else, or if I'm working on my own stuff, I'll work on my own stuff.
So primarily you're working with music every single day then for the most part.
Yeah, in some capacity, yeah.
What do you do on your free time?
My free time, I actually really enjoy going to the gym. Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Um, yeah, go to the gym. I definitely wanna try to enter some sort of fitness competition at some point. Um, I don't know if that will ever happen, but we'll
Do
see.
it.
But
I
aside from that, like, I love doing yard work. I have this massive patch of, sleeping grass in the back, the
oh,
puppy went. So I was out there the other day for, like, an hour, 2 hours with the pliers trying to pull them out.
all right. I can get behind working out for fun, but definitely not yard work. I hate doing yard work. But it is therapeutic once you're done and you like, oh, okay, everything looks nice. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
am about that. Competing for something physical. Well, you should try the Spartan race.
I thought about that, so that might be my first stop, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've did that last year. It was a goal that myself and Hoppa Boy made for us to kind of primarily get him to be focused on being active and being mindful about being like taking care of our bodies.
Mm,
So we made a pact. We'll do the we and New Year's we said we're gonna do the Spartan race and we trained for it because you can't just wing that.
mm,
There's no way. And the amount of gratification that I got, and I also did it to be an example for my daughter. I told her, "I'm not trying to win this thing because there's no way that's gonna happen, but I wanna complete it, like, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna finish it. That's my goal," and she'd watch me wake up every morning and run and doing burpees and getting myself ready, and, oh, when I finished that thing, I did cramp up a million times, but like, that medal's in my living room, and it's just a medal, but, the fact that I did it and it was a goal that I achieved, I think you'll probably find the same satisfaction, but being healthy is always important. You could be the best musician in the world if your health isn't there, no one's gonna be able to hear you play.
yeah, 100%, and, like, you wanna make sure that you're taking care of your body and you're there for your family.
Yeah,
And even more for, like, a musician where, like, our art is very demanding, and we're practically
yeah,
athletes,
yep,
with the amount of playing that we do, with the intensity of playing that we do, for those of us who are going on extended tours, like, Jake, for example, he's on he's touring, like, 8, 9 months out of the year, and just going from city to city, and if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not gonna be able to do that. So, having that, taking your vitamins, eating
yeah.
healthy, eating your protein, working out, and making sure that you're able to support yourself health-wise is just it's gonna be there. I mean, it's gonna be so much better for you and your family, and you'll have that security of knowing that you'll be there for your family.
Yep, definitely. And myself included, I've been taking nutrition very seriously
Mm,
in the last year and a half. I've done the carnivore diet and seen great results. It's just I needed to add a little bit more fiber because
mm.
every time I went to the bathroom was like giving birth. But
Yeah, yeah.
but I can,
I take Metamucil every day,
yeah,
so
and
yeah.
it changes. I've definitely feel different from changing my nutrition. So I'm glad you take that serious at your age, and it's only gonna benefit you. Okay, let's take this short break. I want to shout out our sponsor, Medicinal Mushroom Hawaii. They are a medicinal mushroom company based out of Hawaii. They have five different mushrooms right now. They extracted mushrooms from the lion's mane, chaga, red reishi, turkey tail, and the cordyceps. And if you go on their website, medmushroomhigh.com, it'll explain to you the benefits of each and every one of these mushrooms. I take all five religiously every single day. It's been amazing. Medmushroomhigh.com. If you use promo code ATBPod upon checkout, all capital letters, you'll get 45% off your first tincture of extracted mushrooms. Medmushroomhigh.com. Aloha. Let's see, as a musician, what would be some of your biggest challenges that you faced as a professional?
Um, as a professional, let's see. I would say probably like one of them being separating work from just personal life.
Okay.
Um, especially because like musicians, that's who we are. Like that's who we are as people. And even though we love music, there comes a time where you got to put the music on the side to take care of your, you know, daily life.
Yeah.
Um, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about the routine, where I only give myself a certain amount of time during the day to do my work. Because if I'm
Oh,
not able to turn off that work brain, then that's just gonna keep going, and I'm not gonna be able to sleep good the next, that night. So yeah, I think doing that. I think the next thing would also, go back to uh, staying humble, making sure that we're not doing it for the wrong reason. Um, and I think understanding that the vulnerability and imperfections that we have in the things that we create, like that's what makes our stuff unique. It should
yeah.
never be 100% perfect, 100% clean. Um, and it should never be better than whoever. There's no such thing. It should never be a competition like that. Like all of us are, we're all really good friends, and it should never ever become to the point or come to the point where it's a competition. Like, oh, Brittany is better than Jake. Oh, Jake is better than Brittany. No, it's not like that. That's not how it works.
I understand that. And I'm always teaching my daughter the same. Is like, you don't need to be better than anybody else. You just have to be better than yourself yesterday. And that's
Right.
the competition to improve yourself. I feel like you have a very strong mental strength for this industry. I think your mental strength is perfect for someone in this industry. And I'm sure you have your ups and downs, but you seem very locked in, mentally strong. And that's impressive because I've been in the music industry or promoting industry, and I've been in them green rooms. I've been on tour with bands, and it's very, very easy to get distracted and get um disconnected from the real reason why musicians play. And have you ever encountered struggle with any of that kind of stuff, or has always been locked in like how you are?
Absolutely dealt with struggles. So back in 2013, I came out, and then I got into a really bad relationship.
Oh,
And that bad relationship kind of I wasn't able to pursue music at that point. It was very toxic. It was just not healthy, and that's putting it nicely. Um, so I stepped out of the industry for several years. And after I got out of that relationship, I ended up turning to drugs and alcohol.
okay.
that was kind of like I didn't know how else to deal with the demons that I had. Um, and that was the only way that I knew how. And so I went, into that for a couple of years and I've had these benders for, 5, 7 days and
Oh,
it was
wow.
really a really rough time and I finally was able to get sober in August 2019 and the way that it happened and the kind of leading up to my life now and moving away from Hilo and now living here in Honolulu, that was all divine intervention. And that was like, okay, now it's time. Like you've learned your lesson. I'm giving you this second or third chance at life. So now you go and make something good of it. So that's kind of my story a little bit with that. So yeah, I've been sober for 6.5 years now, and
That's
best
super
decision of
awesome.
my life. Yeah,
That's amazing. I didn't know that was gonna be your story. That's super cool. Always say that, like with any any star musician or athlete, there's some girl that comes around and fucks it all up. Nah.
I mean, yeah, yeah. So I'm super blessed to have the girlfriend that I have now, and yeah, she's amazing. She's very healthy. She makes sure that I'm okay all the time, and she knows that I'm not okay before I even know that I'm not okay. So, yeah, she's on it, and I'm so grateful for her.
That's super cool. And I guess uh that's life, right? Like you said, to go through stuff like that will make you stronger. And if as long as you learn from it and know how to figure it out, that's a great story. I wasn't expecting
And
that.
I mean, you
You
gotta have a really good support system too. You can't just
definitely.
have any old person, even people that have been in your life for a long time, if they're not there to to usher you along on this new journey or whatever your new journey might be, or be that positive influence for you, they don't deserve to have any part of your life. So
Oh, I
I'm
like that.
a huge advocate for that. It's kind of encountering different people over the years, and especially through that time of my life where like people screwed me over. They tried to ruin my career. They tried to do so many things, and so now I'm able to see, you know, are these people in my life set up for success? Do they want success? Do they want stability? If they don't, then I
Yep.
move on.
That's
Yeah.
smart, and I'm learning that recently, and it's hard. I'm recently going through it with some friends, some close friends that I'm trying to drag through the mud, and they're just pulling the other way. And at some point, I gotta let go, and it's been rough. And um, understanding people come into your lives for a reason. God puts people in your life for a reason. It may be just for a short moment, but it should be to teach you something and teach you something about yourself and help you get through it. And with that, you can build on. I feel like that's exactly what you've done with your situation.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's something that I learned in church recently, and that was like because when we go through hard things, like people being shady or screwing us over, whatever the trial might be, we always ask like, God, why am I going through this? Why did you give me this to go through? And it's not him giving you these things because he hates you. It's the lesson that's in it.
Yeah.
Like if we just run away from the problem, we're missing out on the entire lesson. And that lesson is going to be something that will benefit us later.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. And yeah, that's well said. God gives his strongest test to his strongest soldiers. So
Mhm.
I feel like if you walk with him, he'll guide you through it, and everything will make sense eventually. There's no way you know more than God, and to leave it up to him it's hard, but it's beneficial once you see the big picture. Like I always say, you wanna make God laugh, tell him your plans for the future, because
Yeah.
whatever you have planned out is like not what he's got for you. And
Yeah.
wow, that's a cool story. I'm glad you shared that with me. That's impressive. Well, we've been going for an hour. I'm few more questions I had to ask. Like, what would your if you could pick one artist to do a collaboration with, living or deceased, who would that be? And you can
Ooh.
pick multiple ones if you want.
All right, deceased, Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Living, Charlie Puth and Justin Bieber.
Oh, okay.
I would love to do music with them, like, they are brilliant, super brilliant. I would love to do collabs
Put
with
it
them.
out there. I would, in my opinion, I would want you to do a collaboration with Mike Shinoda.
That would be insane.
That would be amazing. That would be so like the artistic uh integrity. And Johan lives in Hawaii. He lives
Mhm.
in yeah, he lives by Alamoana. Yeah, I
Yeah,
met
yeah.
him. Um let's see, and up and coming musical artists, what advice would you give them?
Um, Definitely, like, I mean, this is something that everybody, will say, but don't give up. It's easy to get into this industry and then realize how intimidating it is. The people that are intense, the demands that you have that people expect from you. Um, it's very intimidating. But like I said, you have to surround yourself with people who are gonna keep you grounded. Um, don't be discouraged when something doesn't go the way that you expect. Um, it's it's
Oh, that's
it's easy to get lost, and you don't wanna get lost, and you need those solid people around you to help you when those things don't go your way, or when you get overlooked, or what feels like you're getting overlooked. Um, you gotta keep yourself growing, keep evolving, don't play the things that everybody else is playing exactly the way that they're playing. And there's always a space for you as an artist. No matter what genre you play or sing, there's a space for everyone, yourself included.
that's so awesome. Dream venue, if you could play anywhere on this planet, where would it be?
Mm, Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to play country music though.
Yeah, you and Jelly Roll could do a collab.
That would be amazing. That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
um, I always ask this: do you name your instruments?
I don't actually. I don't
Okay.
because I don't want it to feel like it's a separate identity of myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes
My
sense.
instruments, I feel like my music is like it's an extension of my soul. So I don't like to give my soul a separate name. This is my own.
Oh, that's a great oh, that's smart. Okay. That's a cool answer. My one of my former I used to teach taekwondo and one of my students was Kaimana Souza,
Mhm.
and his family owns a ukulele factory, and you
Yeah, I'm
play
actually
their
sponsored by Connie Lea, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. They so you come Kaneohe a lot then, right? Because that's
All
where
the
their
time.
shop is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Kaimano was my student for Taekwondo. We had him as a little kid growing
Nice.
up, and yeah, he's a good. His whole family, his mom is amazing. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your day and what. Oh, one more question. What goals do you have for your future? Like, where do you see yourself in the future? What do you want to happen with this career?
Gosh, I don't even know. I just wanna play music. Yeah, I just wanna play out. I wanna have a band that backs me up at every gig. I wanna play the most high class, high expectation venues. Um, the most A-list expensive parties. Those would
Yeah.
be really cool to do. Just it's because it's so far from growing up in, Hawaii and Hilo, and you're over here at these black tie events where everybody's wearing dresses and suits that cost grands, you know? So
Yeah.
it's just for the experience, I think, you know, to be at something like that and playing music there. Yeah,
I would love to see you win a Grammy. That would be super cool. Yeah,
that would be cool.
that's awesome. You very personable too. I think you're built for this industry. You're very strong minded too, I think.
Thank you. I try to be.
Yeah. This has been one of the best conversations I've ever had with a Seahawks fan, also. And I didn't
Yeah.
put this here just for you. It's on every one of my shows.
I was gonna wear my jersey, but then I decided not to.
I would have edited out. Nah, nah.
It's only my head.
Yeah.
I do have the 2025 world champions poster.
You guys deserve it. Definitely. As reluctant. You know what pissed me off is the most is that you guys won it in our stadium. Like
That's
that
what made it better.
sucks.
Shanahan and Fred Warner were
Yeah.
commentating. It was great.
Yeah. Warner was mad. He's like, get their stuff out of my locker room.
Yeah.
Anyways, social media wise, where can people find you and also where can people check out your music?
For sure. All of my music is available on every streaming platform. So Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, all of that. Social media, I'm most active on Instagram. So my handle is at I am Brittni Paiva. Same thing with Facebook. I'm also on YouTube. Yeah, kind of everywhere.
Right on. Well, thanks again for coming on. Shakas for the cameras. Okay, we're out. Shout out to the Artist Groove Network. Aloha.
Thank you.